All right, shall I give mine a go?
You may, yes.
All right.
Go for it.
Session
Let's try and keep it
24.
Sorry, too loud.
We are traveling towards and starting passage through the Green Sea. We sort of notice that Joel's quite quiet on this sort of journey. Sparks licks the painite. Ulster says why. Astra takes notes. We notice only one of us notices carefully 4 flying eagles carrying some people with copper and green armor. One of them is a Gith Yankee.
Very heavily inspired by this.
Okay. Ulster does some drawings to show us what they were, because we was kind of blink and miss it. It seems like trying to think about knowledge of the Githyanki hurts your head, as Astra is discovering. I think we fall asleep, and there's various sort of watches. But Astra enters back into that sort of like dream space, except further ahead in time. Looking at library, Castell is there, and is studying the journals that Astra would have written in this world. And very cleverly, Astra quizzes Castell on sort of like various aspects of clerical training as well. She doesn't sort of peek too much into those journals. Wants knowledge to feel earned rather than stolen. They recount the dream to Ulster. Bless you. I don't know why I wrote this. I wrote down Ulster says dreaming is okay. There's more context to that. Oh well. Something that Ulster keeps saying actually is like everything's going to be fine. I think is that.
Oh, we should be like a motivational poster.
Yeah.
Ulster says everything's going to be fine. So.
Yes. We have dinner. Oh, sorry, we have dinner. Joel keeps his distance, but is kind of thankful for the meal, disappointed at no meat. Joel thinks dreaming of the future is not normal compared to Ulster. He and Astra seems to establish some mutual distrust, which is great to know. A bit of information on the Underdark. On a full moon in the material plane, there's some blood sport. And Joel was a shadow guard for the Pantheon. Knew of a brilliant fighter called Sinestre. Sinestra's like, well, actually, I think they saw it coming. Anyway, Ulster and Sparks share a watch. With that painite, it seems Sparks is exhausted. We hear noises and try to sort of hear out for what's happening, and we notice bandits pass us. One of them holds a severed head by the hair, the head of an older bearded man. I can't remember what the resolution of that was, but we did swap watches. Sparks swapped with Loran. Sparks experiences a strange feeling where she can't move and feels like frozen, and then sort of finally able, like things are grabbing at her ankles, of course. I love that feeling. It's so good. The experience of going towards... okay. The experience of going towards a light and away from the darkness. And the light evokes the strongest feeling of love. And Sparks grabs at a hand that's formed by the light and pulls it into a hug. And then in the meantime, also wonders how the what did I write here? Stone. How the stone has affected. I don't know what I wrote here. I'm really sorry. Exposure might build resilience. Exposure to pain might build resilience to it. Loran's excited for the gauntlet and nervous about Allstair's well-being. What does Allstair expect from marriage? And he answers sort of being happy, a short honeymoon. I mean, for a day, but maybe that's not long enough. Loran mentions, like, is there a possibility of, like, never applying to be king because it's not a directly inherited sort of thing. And Allstair says he wants to be with Loran wherever that is. I never wrote Nobles of Kalkan. I don't know why I wrote that, but that was mentioned. Loran gets worried thinking about the details of their relationship, maybe about aging. But, when he sees Allstair, he doesn't think about those things, and it's just... So that's like, oh, very nice. Sparks wakes, eats, and is no longer exhausted. We pack up. We see that the bandits left a trail. We decide to follow that trail. Hello. Oh, okay. Craggly rocks, abandoned camp, fresh blood, clumps of feathers, 4 medium humanoid-shaped beds. There's the twisted body of one of the eagles, and then green blood, which is goblin blood from one of them being slashed at the throat. We enter an area with large webbing, 5 hobgoblins stuck up there. I can't remember if they were all alive, I think, or if they were... Anyway, some of them were alive, some of them were not moving.
You may die.
That's the price I'm willing to pay.
Sacrifice. There's a larger figure holding a knife. A green knife. For some reason I wrote knife green. Bluey does a boo-boo, trying to, like, distract the spider by throwing a spear. Sorry, there's a big spider, and then there's another big spider.
2 big spiders.
Yes, the Githyanki breaks out of webbing, the Githyanki that also saw before. There's some big bites to some of us. Dural shows his climbing skills and hits Big Mama with dissonant whispers. There's some divine favor. There's some healing. There's some inflict wounds from Astra. I think also some clawing. I seem to remember that, but I didn't write it down. Then my notes become really sparse. We say hello to the Githyanki, my own. That's her name.
Yeah.
It seems a few of us have feelings. Yeah, anyway, I think she travels with us because she is needing to travel through the Green Sea. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay.
What did you say? Sorry, it kind of.
My own. Was she traveling
I
with
was
us?
reading something about because she needs to go through the Green Sea.
Okay. She mentions a Balhanoth to, I think, Astra, and I can't remember why. Oh, that's the name of the creature that a bunch of us saw underground in Ironstone that terrified the shit out of a bunch of us. And I think there's more creatures. I think she's going after them. I didn't write down her MO. So, oh yes, funeral for the eagle, one of the eagles. which Sparks performs. First time doing ceremony, I think. It's pretty cool. In a private chat, Ulster confesses to Loran that he feels as if he's already known some of us, as in somehow for decades, which is very interesting. And we see over the course of a conversation, us as players see over the course of a conversation that their
You didn't see anything.
attitudes, demeanors, emotions was noted as like maybe a more mature Ulster, which was and that's the end of my notes. So sorry if there's anything else.
That's fine, don't worry. I'll have it noted that Loran says it back. Because he's not a silly. He does love Ulster. Righto.
So fast, Loran. Oh my god.
I know. Theoretically, that we stopped basically just after the confession. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with my camera.
Why don't you hide your camera from yourself?
Can I?
So we can still.
Am I laggy at all? Because I don't think I'm laggy.
No.
Okay, how's that now?
Yeah.
Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
You're very laggy.
Okay, cool. Mine was just really bad for some reason. Okay, right. So basically, we did theoretically end right after Loran confessed back to Ulster, whilst you guys were all resting. Which means I can traumatize you with more nightmares. No more nightmares. Not for today.
More nightmares.
Also in Loran are on watch. This is the final watch, I believe.
They do a very good job.
No. And I think that they take some time to themselves. Don't do the best job of watching, but that's fine.
Sorry, guys.
And you all wake up to you look around and Ulster and Loran aren't in their own bedspreads. They have curled up under one and they are just like like in the depths of sleep. They've curled up under one spread and it's
like, hey, why are they asleep?
It all seems very sweet
Oopsie.
and very cute. And Gerald vomits in a corner. No, he doesn't.
Get over there.
He's like, oh, love. Weird. You guys can go about your morning, prepare yourselves, and all wake up as you wish. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you set on your way this morning?
I'm in a really good mood.
You're in a really good mood.
Such a good mood. He's like dancing around, making everyone tea, making everyone breakfast. He's like, don't worry, sit down. It's fine. I got this.
Okay.
We're all worried for some reason. So we've taken a long rest, and also Sparks is no longer exhausted, right?
No. At the moment you are okay. Ulster, you are currently wearing the the pay night.
Ah, right. Oh yeah.
Indeed. Now, I would say that because you all fought together, everybody did notice that there were some mishaps with Ulster's magic yesterday. And whether or not that has something to do with the pay night, whether or not that has something to do with something else entirely, it's hard to say. But you guys would have noticed that during the fight.
Okay. I think. Well, I very sorry. I do want to have a look at my spells and perhaps prepare some different ones. but I think I'd very graciously take tea from Ulster.
Some tea,
Um,
some whole made granola. You don't really have time to make the granola, but he just whips it out.
This is like the breakfast of champions. Oh my gosh. Nice.
Been really working hard on my preserving skills. He takes out a jar. It's got black liquid inside. Would you like some jam?
Cool. What sort of jam?
Graal sticks his finger in and swirls it around.
Blackberry.
Oh.
Double dips.
Oh, that's not really.
Takes the jar. Walks away.
Also, it's like my jam.
We'll make some
Luckily,
more
I have
jam
3
later.
more.
He pulls out his bag and unloads several more jars. Really working on my. Gives you an 8 though.
Oh, I love apricot. Right.
Oh.
Did you
So
two
you guys get ready
rest
for-
well?
It was fine. It was really good. I would sleep again.
Sleep is good for
10
your
out of
health.
10.
There you go.
Oh, Bluey, yes.
Sparks agrees.
100%.
I'm not sure I'd call it a dream.
Oh.
I had an experience. It felt. I think like fully recalling it should be a bit like awestruck. I'm just remembering now like the strongest feeling of love. What was it? It was the strongest feeling of love.
Did you
Oh, sorry.
Did you meet your god?
Loran leaning in like, we all had nice dreams. And Bluey met a god?
I met something. And
Godlike?
I think I
or no?
She was dreaming about the Githyanki.
My own looks up. I have a name.
That one.
I was not. So sorry, Mayan. I was not dreaming about you. I'm sorry for my friend. I mean, I'm not saying that as if you should be flattered or whatever. My dream was not concerning you. I hope you had a good sleep.
You
This is very
talk too
awkward.
much. Like a woodpecker pecking non-stop.
I think she's flirting with you.
But I think she.
Walster sets your breakfast plates right next to each other. He's like, "Good luck," and just like kind of pushes you together on a log. I'm gonna keep packing up.
I bet your bones are made of rubber. Shall I test it? Just for your arm.
That would be incredibly inefficient. Regardless.
I hope my bones aren't rubber.
Sparks, you were saying about your dream.
Yes, sorry.
Not about my own.
It was. I mean, I started off really cold. In fact, I thought it was actually really scary. My body was like frozen.
She's scary.
Hmm?
It was actually really scary, guys.
So, yeah.
I'm just a mental image of Sparks.
And then I mean, I was very due to my strength, I could break out of this sort of icy like position, and I saw distant light, and then it became not so distant, but it was hard to get there. And then things were grabbing me at the ankles, just like I'd experienced before, I think. Did I tell you guys about that?
It's never nice when something grabs you by the ankles.
Sparks, as you're talking, also kind of like flits around behind you. But then as you keep going, he's just like, wow, we're going to really put a damper on the day if we keep talking about our nightmares. Picks up an apple and puts it in your mouth. There you go. Come on, again.
In the middle of camp, you just see two cats all of a sudden appear, and a big fluffy one just barrels into the red one like he's a bowling ball. It was so funny. He like went.
No to me. No to me.
No to me.
Beach. Give him to me. To me.
Oh, this poor animal. To me. Okay, so as you're talking, Bluey,
We got in the best way.
as you are talking, Bluey, you feel Ulster attempt to put an apple in your mouth. Can you make me a dexterity check?
A check?
A dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. When do I get a plus to that?
Athletics check.
No,
Wouldn't it
what's
be sleight
the
of hand?
condition?
If it's more, I'm thinking it's more of like a grappling in terms of the jaw.
Yeah. Oh, is it a grapple?
Sure, fine.
That's a 17 then.
And Sparks?
Still dex?
Yeah,
That's a 10.
10.
Haha!
You are akin to those pigs who get their nails stuffed with apples.
So you don't want to talk about nasty, scary dreams in the morning? He pats you on the back. Come on. You notice he's packed up everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
I
just
wanted
standing
to
with
hear
his hands
about
behind
it.
No. We're not talking about scary things. We're going on an adventure into the Green Sea.
Loran looks over to you and just says, "Ah, yes, the Green Sea, the most perilous place in all of Aprea."
I think it'll be a nice stroll through the forest.
Aye. Okay. Well, either way,
May I please insight check the exchange of, like, we're going to the Green Sea, like, easy. I can't remember what Allstare said, but it was like, it'll be an easy trip, and then Luran's like, most perilous place. Can I insight check that
did you
exchange?
call him Luran?
By accident?
That was so cute. You can call him Luran.
Luran.
Luran. Anyway, but yeah, yes, you may. Please do me an insight check.
That's a 5.
A 5.
Couples bickering.
It sounds really great, actually, what Ulster is suggesting, just strolling straight in. And Loran does look scared, though, of that prospect. He looks to you, Astra, as the voice of reason and says, "So, shall we perhaps start packing up our goods and head
We've already
towards..." What?
I've already done it all.
Looks at the cauldron that's bubbling breakfast, looks at the bedrolls.
No, he's already done all the bedrolls. I said that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing.
Oh, okay. I see.
It's all in very neat piles. He's labelled everyone's stuff.
Okay, sure, right. That's
Very
fine.
condo style.
Oh my god. So,
Droll
Loran
stuff. He's put a little smiley face on it.
Droll looks confused and
There's
unhappy.
always such a ray of sunshine.
I hate the sun.
Also goes up to Droll and just goes to his mouth.
Oh, do not touch me. I'll slay you where you stand.
You'll slay me.
My own, I like him.
He's talking big. He won't actually do anything. Pats Droll on the shoulder and walks away. you like some whipped cream, Jar?
Right, so you guys start heading towards the main road again, and
Also, we'll remove the apple from your mouth.
you guys start heading
Thank
towards the
you.
main road, and as you go, Loran, a little sadly, pats the horse on its side and just says, "Well, you've gotten us this far, good friend. Thank you very much for all of your assistance."
Go home.
And like it sets it free. As you guys reach the edge of this bustling sort of township, the last sort of stead before you enter the Green Sea itself, which is called Loudwater.
Is the water particularly noisy?
There is sort of those hilltops that are kind of like all the very low hills around here have sort of a set of cascading pools, fresh springs, which seem to be where people, why people settled here, considering it's on the sort of edge of such a difficult terrain. You gasped.
You're like, oh, so beautiful. Why don't we just stay here for a bit?
It seems to be a quite transient place. You look over to the hilltops and you do see there are maybe 3 or 4 permanent looking homesteads which are also adjoined to farms. So there are crops starting up in the more flatlands above the
Pop the lava.
He's gonna go for Baz. So funny. As the hills flatten out at the tops, you see that there are crops growing there. There is a windmill atop another hill. But then clustered around the main road, you see adventurous supply stores. You see merchants who have rolled their wares out on like mats and laid out awnings, who are haggling with people who all look to be wearing really heavy duty gear. Everyone is wearing like specialized shoes with cleats in the sides. There are people wearing like eyeglasses and balaclavas. There are people who have kind of fully kitted themselves out with climbing rope and with weapons. And I'm going to put this out there now. Comparatively to these guys, you like look naked. Yeah, you are ill prepared for this this excursion. Actually, even my own, who was planning on flying over the Green Sea as best as she could, still is wearing pretty specialized gear and has slung across her back a pair of those same cleats which you see some people wearing. And you kind of get deeper into this sort of like throng of people.
Oh, no. In the beanbag.
La beans. As you get deeper into the throng, you also notice a distinct shift in the style of in the sort of look of the people. There are these kind of like slightly more warmer toned skinned, more elven-looking individuals. Also, obviously, because this is a prayer, mixed in with a whole ton of other races as well. So some of them have like more dwarven features, some of them have more orcish features, and such and such. But they all have this sort of elven ancestry around this area. Ulster, you know, for being a druid, that this area was once operated entirely by a community of elven and sort of half-elven and human druids who had the sort of Green Sea as their own kingdom, its own country in its own right. And that in recent history, the royal family of Aprea has negotiated with these druids to be able to move through this territory without much impediment in return for protection from external forces. And protecting the forestry and such. So this is almost similar to passport control, and you also all know that you do not enter, at least officially, the Green Sea without a guide, someone who is able to take you from point A to point B.
Okay.
Or to your destination, if you have a destination in mind. So for you guys, in the first ever campaign, previously, that was Selfie Elfie, the wood elf, played by one of our friends, who was born in the Green Sea, but actually you guys have no such companion. So you find yourselves on the cusp of adventure without a guide.
So what's so dangerous about the Green Sea again?
Who are you asking this to?
I guess Loran. You said there was an issue. Oh, sorry. Did I speak with you?
Oh no. I guess since the Sparks have an idea that she's lived in Melas.
Yeah.
The
Green Sea is dangerous because it's twofold, the reason. The first is because of the agreement. They don't want people from Aprea or people just freely moving through the forest, because they might trample upon protected areas, sacred areas, and such. And then Loran says the other danger is the many, many, many monsters that live there.
It's going to be like a sightseeing trip then.
Well, you see, Ulster, the people who... Look, the people who live in the Green Sea supposedly have a knack for calming and evading conflict with these things, but they don't show that same respect to outsiders, you understand?
Why not?
Well, Ulster, the answer is I don't know. I've never been in here. I'm only telling you what I've heard from hearsay.
I think we should be friends with some of the monsters, because then we would have achieved something worthwhile in this trip.
Oh, okay.
My own Droll and Loran kind of stand there and then look at each other and then look back at you. And Loran says, "Anything for you, darling. Yes, of course."
Is there a risk that if we don't know what we're doing with, moving through here, that we'll upset people who look after it? Like, is there a rule book?
We'll have to purchase a guide.
Yeah, my own says, yes, that is precisely.
How many diamonds would a guide be?
It depends. If you want a good one, it'd be more expensive. We can pool our money. Who here has any wealth? She raises her own hand as well.
Have a chalice.
Send nudges Loran's hand up.
I do.
Pose.
I can put
He's one
some
of those, this is how
money
will
in.
stay rich. He sends you a request for £4.
She says, good. Right, let us see what funds we have. And she opens up a very small purse, and it's got 12 silver, 1 gold piece, and 50 copper in it. She's like,
Sorry, this is your wealth.
yes, indeed. It took me 12 months to save this, for this journey.
Also looks very awkwardly around at the others. That's great. Maybe though we could get this one, considering your companion just passed away and we don't want you to get rid of the money. Yeah.
You would do this for me.
I suppose. Why don't you...
I do not trust it.
No, why don't you go and get us some nice farmhouse milk? There's a few vendors I can see. Why don't you go and get us the best milk that they have to offer, and we'll go find a guide, and that will be all you need to do for us in return.
I'll do you one better. I will find a cow, and
No,
I will
no.
milk it,
No,
and I will
think you
bring
should.
its milk to you.
No, I don't think you should. I don't think the cow would like that. You can just go to the vendors, You see, they've already prepared the milk and
Make a persuasion check.
pasteurized it, so it's safe to drink. 13.
13. Okay, she's like, fine, but the next thing I can harvest for you, I shall.
Make it grapes next time. Nice, safe vines close to the ground. There's not many people around.
So, Maya heads off towards the vendors. God, guys, can you just calm? The cats are so annoying.
Titties.
Okay, so a moment.
Also looks so relieved when she goes to get the milk. He's like, whew.
I can't contribute anything to this but the promise of future labour and current protection looking to Loran.
Sparks, do you think it would be good to go with my own as some supervision of some sort?
Oh my god, he's very smart.
Also kind of nudges Sparks in the ribs, like, supervision.
Sparks is getting around. We were talking about this actually. We were like, oh my gosh, so she, on the Rand's ship, she's got Boba. Back in Velas, she's got Aiti, like with a fluttering heart of gold waiting. And here she's got Mayo, supposedly. You don't know, you don't have her yet.
Collecting the heart, I mean, YOLO, right?
The harem, it's crazy. It's a hot harem too. Hello.
I have started incorporating outdated gamer terms again ever since Neil said pwned. So I will be using terms like YOLO and pwned now, in honor of Neil.
In honor of Neil.
Very good.
Guys, they just keep running up and hitting each other. I'm not even kidding.
I'm a mischief maker. I cause mischief.
You see a goblin. His name is Lala. Okay, so you, my own,
I accept.
is walking a little bit ahead of you, Bluey, and you can kind of do a little jog to catch up with her if you like. And she turns around and goes, Zara! You followed me here.
So, suggested I hang around. Would you like some help? I can't give you money.
I do
help.
actually quite like the idea of harvesting my own goods from a farm animal of some description. I prefer to know where my food has come from. Organic, I think they call it.
I mean, maybe you could ask some of the people here, and if they seem trustworthy enough, then we can take them at their word.
Indeed. So can you make me an investigation check as you look around? And anybody else who would like to look into getting supplies, this is the time we're going to use to do that.
I would like to look for a guide.
The guide, perfect.
Well, I thought I rolled well. That's a 13 on an investigation.
Oh, okay.
Better than I
I mean, 13 seems to be the number of the day. It's not a terrible number. Right. So you look around, Sparks. Roll me a investigation check, Holster.
I was looking at pictures of Githyanki.
She's a cute Githyanki, okay? I'm just saying.
19 plus... Sorry, what was it again?
It was an investigation check. So, Sparks, what you find is... What you find, Sparks, is a... let's see.
Oh my god, can this be her?
Yeah, that's her. Oh my god, yeah, that's definitely her.
I'm gonna send a photo.
Okay. Sparks, you're actually really surprised to find a group of people who appear to be representatives of different religious organizations, and amongst them you see one person wearing a brand of Carmentrand. And they seem to be giving out supplies for very cheap or free to people who look like less prepared or more in need as they come through this area, knowing that this is a dangerous process. And what you notice is this is small groups of displaced people and what look to be like almost refugees as they're heading north. And obviously different churches are assisting them to get to beyond the Green Sea, as this is a dangerous crossing. It's a necessary crossing, and obviously the spread of undead would be much easier to avoid if you were to go through here. So you get the impression that there are religious organizations at work, and they are giving out things such as milk.
I've got an allergy spot.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get a welt.
You see sort of
Cats.
you see a family of four. Sorry, no, excuse me. A family of 5. They're all fully elven, and they are sort of holding, all of them, including the smaller children, have like quite full backpacks and cleats that they have sort of like looked to drummed together themselves. And the person leading them is it seems to be this halfling with a shaved head and a kind of comely expression, very kind. And you can approach this table if you wish to.
Yeah. I think she would like signal to my own that like she needs to go to that table. There's milk there.
There's milk there.
Yeah. But I think rather like quickly, I think especially seeing the Carmentrad robes, she's definitely wondering why there's someone from the temple out here. So she is going to say hello, and I think she might like flash up her shield.
Okay. You sort of go, hail and well met, and the
siblings of various deity worshipping. Hello. Sorry to budge in. And then looking to the one in the Common Trend colours. Do I recognise them?
They introduce themselves as Merrywyn Peacefeather.
Merrywyn Peacefeather.
Wyn, it's Merry, as if like Merry Christmas, and then WYNN. And then Peacefeather, which is a name that you recognise. Peacefeather is one of the leading sort of families in Melas.
But I've never met Merrywyn.
No, this seems to be one of either the father, Goldrick Peacefeather, one of his children.
Oh.
Let's see. He is prolific in his children. He has quite a few.
If there's any sort of resemblance to Goldrick, be like, so sorry. I don't think we've met, but I may have. I think I know who your father is. Is it Goldrick?
She nods and says, "Yeah, that's my father." I'm also surprised to see another acolyte of Carmen Tran down here, but honestly, I'm pleased. It's a bit lonely. After everything that's going on, word has spread that there's a lot of chaos up north. Luckily, Melas, you'll be probably pleased to know, is unscathed for now.
That is very good to hear. I'm maybe not surprised because of,
No.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. You said your name was Merrywyn?
Merrywyn, yes.
Bluey Sparks.
I was going to ask Blue Sparks. What do you prefer, Bluey or Sparks or both?
Either.
She seems to be. You know that Goldrick isn't a young man. She's she's about maybe 10 or 15 years older than you, and has sort of like smile lines around her face, and she just says, "Well, I'm here to help and offer a hand should you need. Do you have a guide yet?"
We don't actually, and that is something that we're a bit troubled by. Considering passage through here and knowledge of this place would be helpful to not disturb anyone or anything. although I think my friends are looking into it.
So, sure.
We've been instructed to acquire milk.
Understood. Well, I can certainly provide. And she turns around to the carts and begins to unload some sort of like. You see, she starts getting a bit more for you than the usual person. You get 3 kind of like milks, like small flasks of it, and then some dry rations, a few like extra like torches, kindling, and such. And she says, "Don't tell anyone that I've given you these last ones. They're a little bit prohibited in there. You can understand it's a forest. But it gets dark, and there are some things in there that are only deterred by flame."
Okay. I'm guessing we'd find out more from a guide that we'd be able to.
You would, yes.
Okay. All right.
Indeed. Oh, and swap your bedrolls for hammocks if you can. You're not going to find flat ground in there.
Okay, hammocks. Get hammocks. Or make hammocks.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can
That's
I ask
right.
how long have you been with the temple?
My whole life.
No.
That would be an odd 36 years now.
I'm so sorry. I don't think I've ever seen you there. Okay, so sorry.
She shakes her head and says, "That's fine. I mean, there's reasons to stay, and there's reasons not to. Carmentrant is a good deity to follow, but with your own heart, I feel I can do more further from the confines of Melas than I can from within its walls."
Are you considering moving temples?
Make a persuasion check, because that's quite personal information.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think she'd try and make a sympathetic face. Persuasion 18.
She
Like,
says,
she definitely doesn't want to come off as like accusatory or policing.
well, I'm a private person, but I've done things in my past that I'm not the most proud of, and I wanted to take a step away from Melas so that I could focus on my faith and remember what it is I actually believe in. And she kind of gestures to the elven family, who are smiling and looking a little nervous, but with their guide beginning to head towards the Green Sea. I might not be the right person to take them all the way up to the doorstep, but I can at least get them through the sea.
Cool. Sorry, that was a very personal question. Look, if you want to ask one of me, then fire away. Otherwise, I don't want to. You're doing important stuff here. I can see.
Shakes her head and she says, "A question, I suppose." And while she opens her mouth, but the words that come out don't really match the way her lips move, and you just hear, "What are you protecting?" And she smiles at you as if she's just asked you a question.
I think oh my god, Emma. Oh my god. That's very reminiscent of what this shadowy negative space thing has.
Indeed.
Okay. I think at first Sparks is like confused because like she's maybe partially looking at the lips and going.
Whoa, I didn't know you could do your voice like that.
Sorry, I don't think I heard you properly.
When did you join the temple?
Well, they took me in when I was young. Soon after my dad died. Did you encounter Dadeline?
Likely, but it's been a while since I've been. She gives you a good smile and just says, "Here, take this," and passes over a few extra rations and a hammock. She just says, "Good luck in there."
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Merowyn.
Nice to meet you,
luck.
Bluey. And your quiet friend. And Myone has just been standing there watching this whole.
Sorry, Myone.
Oh la la.
Thank you for everything here. Thank you.
She looks at you and she says, "So you're a person of religion?"
One could say that, yes. Yeah, very happy to talk about it. Maybe a bit closer to our cart, or maybe a bit into the journey. But yes, it's. I mean, there's some complex feelings, but I can still heal people, so that's pretty good.
She looks at you curiously, but then turns around and walks away, hearing your kind of semi-dismissal. Also, I was looking for a guide.
Yeah.
You see, in the distance, you see your forcing of your and Astra's forcing of Myone and Bluey Sparks together, somewhat working as they kind of travel off and talk to each other.
He kind of nudges Astra, is like, "Do you want to put gold on it?"
No, I think I'll just see what happens.
Astra. He kind of sidles back up to you. Astra, come on.
You have far more gold than I do, and I need to use it for supplies for the trip.
How about if... Wait, aren't we kind of betting for the same thing, though? I think we want the same outcome. So it wouldn't really be much fun of a bet, would it? Gerald, do you want to enter into a bet because you don't like fun?
I think Gerald has plenty of fun.
I love fun.
Mm-hmm.
But he hates dreams. Bluey's not there.
Also kind of like swirls in front of the group and starts, like, has his hands behind his back. You hate fun.
No.
Hate fun.
No, I do not hate fun.
Well, he kind of looks around. What else is there in town? In terms of fun things.
You rolled an investigation check when looking for a guide earlier.
I got a 22.
You got a 22, okay. The first thing that catches your attention is so this is not fun though, is a low semi-permanent structure which has like rows of desks. People are queuing up before to it looks like be assigned guides, and behind them in kind of like a pet. You know how when Uber drivers and Just Eat like drivers are all just like waiting for orders to come through, and they all just sit in like a little huddle.
I've got an idea.
There's a bunch of them just waiting there.
Can I try something with Gerald? Also kind of goes up next to Gerald, figuring that he has a much weaker target than with Astra. You know, Gerald, if you were really into fun, you could find us a guide and get a discount rate with your seductive charms.
I'm in a relationship.
He throws Gerald's hair over his shoulder. Because that would be something fun to do.
An open relationship. Make a persuasion check. Again.
Can I have advantage because I'm being cheeky?
You can have a fun. You know what, Loran?
Wait.
No, he can't do that. If Astra says something to assist you, then yes, you can have advantage.
Astra, assist me.
Aelin?
I'm thinking on if. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm thinking. Sorry.
You're good.
Because I don't know if she would assist. I don't know who she would assist in this case.
Her bestie. Who's her bestie?
Ulster's trying to get Gerald to loosen up and have a bit of fun. Just saying.
That is some good convincing. It could be good to see an entirely different side of you, Gerald.
I get advantage now.
Okay, yeah.
I need to play that with advantage. I really needed the advantage. Thank you. That is a 17. The other one was a 7.
Okay. Gerald looks down at his hands. I can't seduce anyone.
You showed me fun in the forest, so let's see some fun here. Come on.
Let me just find... Hang on. He looks at his reflection, seeing that sort of horned tiefling, and kind of reminding he is not quite himself. He's like, I am fun.
Yeah.
I am fun. I can seduce.
Mm-hmm.
Guides.
Seduce and conquer. Off you go.
Okay. Anyone?
A good
Okay,
guide,
and he goes off. He walks off.
A good guide.
Good guide.
Yeah. You come back with a goblin, it doesn't count.
Okay, so God. Oh my god. Okay. Let me just have a look here. Also, the other things that you notice around you are a small kind of like creche looking kids area where a bunch of the children are sort of like gathered around a bard who must be around this area, who's kicked up a box and is standing atop it and playing little music for them.
No, fuck the children.
Okay, foul fuck. You also see an adventurer's gear sort of like stall. There's a few of these selling pretty like essential gear, you sort of see. And then you see what appears to be one of the only permanent structures here is an inn. It's quite large with like low stories. It almost looks like it's a converted stables, where each of the stables has been turned into a area for people to rest. And there are actually a lot of horses here, as many people who travel here on horseback have to leave the horses behind before they can go through the Green Sea.
Does the inn have a bar?
Yes, it does have a bar.
Also kind of squints at the inn. Looks back at everyone else. He's like, well, I don't know about you guys, but I see where I'm going. He starts kind of backing up. I mean, you can make your own decision. He backs up a little bit more, but that's where I'm going.
Oh my god. At which point I think you're reunited with Bluey.
He backs right into you. So, oh hey!
Oh, sorry. Oh. Hello. We have way more than we expected to get.
We need hammocks.
We were given hammocks.
One hammock.
Right?
Oh, there's only one hammock and 2 of you.
There's more than 2 of us. There's
Mayon looks at you, Orca, and then surges forward. She's going to grab your collar and shove you against a wall and press her forehead to yours. And she's like,
"Oh my goodness!
What are you trying to do?
What are you trying to do?
You make innuendo jokes, and you try and get under my skin with your crawling remarks. Why?
I really don't want to, actually.
Leave it be.
He kind of like tilts his nose away.
Leave me be.
I really don't actually want to be anywhere near you. Can you get off me?
Come on, my own.
think
We'll
I'm with you.
go
Come on,
pick
mate.
up the rest of the supplies. No need to get into a...
You wouldn't win anyway. He pats her on the shoulder. He does the exact same thing back to her with primal savagery.
Slay. It's a stalemate. You guys are just as terrified of each other. And she goes, insolent. And then walks away. With you, Astra.
Ooh. Also kind of pats Sparks' arm. It's okay.
Fucking God. You hear yelling, let me at him!
Well, Ulster's gonna go to the bar.
Sparks, are you going with Ulster or are you going with Myon and Astra?
Is Loran with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Have one guess which way he's going.
Oh, look, someone's got to look out for Giral, right? I don't know.
Jiral's gone. He's not
Yeah,
there.
Jarl's gone to find us a guide.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, can we? Is he good to?
You're looking for
free
him?
roam?
Okay.
Sparks is gonna go
I
be
ju-
like his wingman.
Free
Wingwoman.
roaming Jaral.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what?
Always
Sparks
dangerous.
doesn't know this is happening, but I think she might go. Where's?
He's free roaming.
Like a cow.
It's better that way.
Oh, God.
Do you
My
want me
God.
to check after him?
Well, Sparks, you could do that. You could supervise Jaral and be the stoic, good babysitter. Or he like puts his arm around your shoulder. You're very tall, so he's like, come down here. Or you could come with us and get a drink.
A drink before the road.
Oh, my God.
Also looks so pleased. He's like, let's go.
Amazing. Okay, right, you guys all head into the pub, which is called
Dave drinking.
the Crawling Pub.
Crawling.
The
Ooh.
Crawling Pub. Well, you don't know that. You can ask about the name if you wish to. However, you guys enter inside, and within you see much the same sort of thing as without. You see, there are. Sorry, I'm super yawny today. Pardon me.
You need all that oxygen. Oxygen.
Indeed. You guys see much the same as outside. It is filled with people in adventuring gear. It is the morning, so there is still a continental breakfast being served, which you guys can try and steal for yourselves or actually pay for it, depending on what you prefer.
Ulster's already made you a beautiful breakfast.
If you want to have a second breakfast, Lily, there's always time. Indeed.
Also goes to the bar, but if you guys want food.
And
I am purchasing the drinks today. I am doing the purchasing. So select wisely.
yeah,
He's in a really good mood.
cool.
Excuse me. Sorry.
But
Um,
I think you guys.
Something with coffee in it.
Guys, I think you already know the way it goes by now. I need everybody to roll me a D100. This is unfortunately one of those things. What happens when adventuring becomes a pursuit? You get chain pubs and restaurants. Basically, they've all got a very similar menu.
24.
you know, don't mind pub food.
24. Obviously, as usual, you can request to exchange your drink or give it on to someone else. So, Ulster, you get a huge mug of tea. It is like a whole host of freshly picked herbs from that morning that have been steeped since they were
Is
picked.
it alcoholic?
Would you like it to be?
Yes.
Yes. Roll me one more.
I didn't order tea. That's 12.
12. Okay, and alongside your tea, he says, "This is the barman, who is a large Goliath, says, yeah, this is the house special. You get your tea, get your herbs, you tip it into this, and it's a half-full flagon of a really like amber-coloured sort of sparkling ale."
Also, I will try this.
Okay, it is like a herbal. It's herbal. It's interesting. It's like drinking a warming tea infusion, shot with beer at the end. So it's an interesting choice. Apparently, it makes you feel like you've been hit in the head by a hammer after you finish a glass of it.
Oh.
Also, and Sparks, if you got any ideas?
That was not fun.
Oh, you can get another one.
Yeah, you want another one.
What are you going to drink?
Is it herbal, like green, like the green sea, like herbal?
Yes. So the herbs are all local to this area. If you want the same thing, but I would also request just one roll to see if you get something crazy.
44 was what I rolled.
Okay.
I wanted to know, if you say herbal, do you literally mean herbal, or are you referring to drug?
Are you referring to drugs?
It is drugs. Yes, you're right.
What?
It is?
It's
Drugs.
It's like I was gonna wait until someone went to sleep, but it does send you on a trip. The herbal tea.
I don't think Olsen needs a trip.
No, well, he's getting one anyway. But guess what? So do you, Bluey.
Yay!
Oh.
Bluey, I'm going to leave it up to you whether you drink this or not. Obviously, with all things, you get past a glass, and also when you see this, you look a little bit anxious. Because it reminds you of something you've seen before. You passed a very small glass filled with a really a deep black drink resembling the night sky, with like a slight shimmer to it. It is ice cold to touch, and it has a sort of when you touch your tongue to it just to test it, it has like a metallic kind of taste. And I'll tell you this: the metallic kind of taste reminds you of when you licked the painite, but like a very diluted sense of that.
What do you reckon?
What is that?
You asked the barman?
Yeah.
New brew just came in. We've been filtering it through, testing it out with the customers. It's been going down a treat, especially those who are more inclined towards the Gauntlet.
Also takes the black cup, puts it down, slides it back across. We're old school. Just give us something a bit more traditional.
Hey,
Alright. Drugs it is! And he passes you the drug tea with some ale.
Really don't want
actually, could Sparks do a detect poison and disease on the sparkly, shimmery, dark drink before it's
swept away?
Is that good to do?
You may.
Alright.
Please do.
Which means presence of and locations of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet. Also, the kind of poison, poisonous creature or disease. And the drink's right in front of me, so I know exactly where it is. But in case there's anything else in the 30-foot radius for the next 10 minutes, I'll pick up on that as well.
Okay. You're detecting poison and disease?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you sort of let your magic sort of ooze through this tavern, how far is it?
30 feet?
30 feet. Luckily, it seems the majority of people in this tavern haven't gone for that drink, but you do sense one or two individuals in here, some of the larger, more kind of buff-looking people who are making their way through. They do seem to be sipping on that drink, and there's a sense of just impending doom, flavored disease that is kind of passing over them.
Not good.
I think Sparks would say to the bartender, "Can I have a word at the side? Sorry, I'd like to speak to the
Raises
manager."
their eyebrows, but says, "All right." Turns to the side. What seems to be the problem? And he crosses his arms.
"This drink is diseased."
I know for a fact that it is not. I got that from a very reliable source.
Was it a handsome arcanist?
Yeah, was it an arcanist who's maybe like this tall?
Very good looking.
Supposedly
Actually,
good
no,
looking.
from the complete contrary, it was a he-him lesbian who passed through these parts not a few days ago.
What's his name?
What's his name? Big
You
Ed?
know his name. You know his name.
Big Ed.
It's Big Ed.
Big Ed. Big Ed. Big Ed.
How do you know Big Ed?
Look, only briefly ran into him. Look, I'm
What?
telling you, I don't want to.
Briefly.
Yes, for a few days or something. You know, with the party. You know, we're all together.
While Sparks is doing this, can I message Pico Taro?
Yes.
I would like to message Pico Taro with my little stone and just say, hello, checking in. Can you put out a like declaration, whatever you call it here, banning the sale of the sparkly dark, stinky alcohol?
Sparkly dark, stinky.
So that I can stop people drinking it.
Do you have the spell sending?
He has a sending stone.
Oh, yes, you do. You do.
Okay.
I forgot.
With like phones.
We do. You use your phone, you dial him in.
Okay.
He's like, hey, husband. It's like, oh, Ulster, thank you for calling me.
Thank you, I was waiting for your call. Like, oh yeah.
Call me, maybe.
Keeping well. We need a missive put out.
Understood, and I will do this as soon as I am able to.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's like effective immediately, right? So I'm just...
Well, I mean, it'll take some time to disseminate, but
yeah, but you're going to like stamp it like right. So by the time anyone fact checks it, will be technically effective immediately.
Oh yes, I suppose that's
right. Cool. He hangs up. This alcohol is banned.
I know you said it's a new thing, and it looks really nice. And look, I don't want to cause a scene, but if any patrons have already drunk it today, then I think I need to go to them and cure them.
Cure him of what exactly? I know. I trust Big Ed with my life. He is the father of my son. No, he's not.
It's necrotic ooze.
He's
Also
not
swipes the
father of my
bottle away.
son.
No.
He's like a father to my sons. He's like family to me.
You're an idiot.
Yes, but that doesn't mean I don't deserve rights.
I think.
Sorry, guys, I'm losing it a little bit.
I think he has a lot of good qualities. I would just look. It's a general thing. I think anything involving potion selling, then you're not able to detect what's in there. I really would strongly advise against, especially with the Gauntlet. Look, have you heard about all the trouble outside the Green Sea?
You know what? I have. But do you know what else I've heard about? I've heard about a little dwarven woman who broke his heart. And her friends. A dragonborn. And a scrawny little elf.
Scrawny? Rude.
I think you guys are done here.
I think
take
you're done
your
as
things
well.
and
Also
go.
puts down a piece of paper. By order of the
Fuck, you just drew it.
we are closing this establishment until it has been successfully cleared of all of the ooze.
We just need.
Oh my fucking
don't need to
god!
close it.
Okay, right. So
I know where the drinks are. I can sense them now, but I think Sparks will try and, like, without causing a scene, kind of go up to
Falstaff's already caused the scene. He's standing on a
I
bar
know.
stool as he says this.
I'm going up to the two people who have either drunk it or are about to drink it, and try and convince them. I'm happy to do
okay,
this
so
later.
I'm gonna
I'm
need
happy
you guys
Okay.
to stop 1 second. You can't.
Yeah, sure,
I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to stop you for a moment.
Yes,
but then
yes.
I promise I'll let you guys have some input.
Very good.
Okay.
I-
Hang on.
What is this music?
So, also, you slam a piece of paper you just scrawled down onto this surface, onto the bar, and you say quite rather loudly, "I'm closing this establishment," and blah 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 blah, and such and such and such. As you do this, the whole room goes quiet and looks over at you as the Goliath bartender looks down at this piece of paper, pulls down his glasses and looks at it.
Also, like,
scrunches it in his hands, throws it at you guys. You haven't even paid for your drinks yet.
treason.
Right, I'm sorry, he's going to take a swing at you. Right.
At me?
At you. This is ridiculous.
But I'm small.
Ooh, okay.
He
Even
is
though
big.
can Sparks try and intervene in that? Can Sparks be 5
After
feet
this
next
hit,
to
yes, you
Ulster? Oh,
I'm
Okay.
sorry, friends.
Let me just get my books. God damn it, this is not what I planned.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Oh,
hang on. Let's see. Forgive me for not having a
Goliath?
what's it? A map immediately.
Eh. It's totally fine.
We're not in initiative, so can I bite him when he tries to hit me?
He's going to try and hit you first, and then you can have a reaction to that. Yes.
Sparks will also walk into a bar, start a fight.
I was not expecting this. Meanwhile, can I just quickly say, Astra and Mahone are just having a lovely time, bonding and such, getting supplies.
Getting hammocks, out fabric.
It's
Red
wonderful.
If you needed an investigation roll, I did roll.
I will have one, yes, please.
It was a 22.
I just really need to get a... Oh, 22. Ooh. God, what is wrong with these character stat blocks? Why are they all horrid?
Can't be that powerful. He's a boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
Why don't you just quickly...
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Do you want to take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute break whilst I sort this whole situation out.
See you guys.
Okay. Okay, so the Goliath is going to roll to hit you, Ulstem.
Okay.
He gets a 14, actually.
It doesn't hit me.
Doesn't it? He picks up a tankard and just like slings it over your head.
I like
And
duck backwards.
And he releases it at the last minute. It goes and it smashes against a wall into like wooden splinters, and then just like a froth of drugs and beer as it slips down the side. And there is a yell from the tavern and you hear behind you another punch. I always wanted to do that! I finally got an excuse! As the patrons also start falling into a tavern brawl of some description.
Can I bite him when his hand goes like past my face?
I will give you one opportunity just to do a bite, no further like actions, and then we can roll initiative.
Well, my bite is a primal savagery bite.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's a cantrip. Okay. Then I make a melee spell attack. Sorry, I have to keep switching back and forth. Natural 20 plus 6, 26.
Okay.
Does natural 20 do anything?
It usually doubles down,
Okay.
but only on the
Yeah,
dice,
dice.
not on the
What's my d10? 6. That is 12 corrosive damage.
Oh,
Okay, you burn his skin, and there is like a sort of yell of fear from the crowd. And he looks, if before he was just lashing out in like frustration, now he looks angry. And we are going to be rolling initiative. So,
Smug. What's that? We don't bite people.
and I have got a map here.
oh. Okay.
5 initiative.
Okay, 10 initiative for Rizka. Riz.
The name, the bartender.
It is the name, yes. Okay, and then I love that gif, Aelin. Or is it Anna? Who sent that? No, it's bigger.
I am not like in this encounter, so I'm just gonna be memeing in the chat, as is my duty, because I am still present.
Would you like to be in this encounter? We can make it so that you hear if you prefer.
I am enjoying this perspective.
Okay. Sure. All right. So then, Anna, what did you roll?
I rolled a 16.
Okay. Awesome.
You pick also up and walk him out. Don't forget Lorantica.
I do. I have. Don't worry.
You have.
I have. I have him. Don't worry.
I have forgotten.
No, that's not what I meant.
I have in fact forgotten.
Let's see.
Okay. Order is up. Sparks, you're first. As chaos begins to reign in this tavern.
Also cackling.
I think she'll try and she wants to try and aim to grab Ulster away from the barkeep.
Okay. I'm just going to show you guys.
Next
Can
one.
you send it? Because I can't do that.
Yes.
Yes. So her aim is to, I think, get between the barkeep and Ulster, and also maybe like it's like protect him, but also shield the barkeep. And says, I think free action would be. So I might try and grapple, but at first I think she'll want to say out loud, please, I promise I'm not puritanical. This isn't a drug thing. You can have all the other substances you want, but it's just that thing is diseased. Believe me, please.
Oh my god. Make a persuasion check. That'll be your action, and then you have a bonus action and you'll move.
That's a 9.
A 9. One of the like patrons who seems to be either a worker here or a close good friend of Rizka, stands up and yells, "This is the only tavern left on this side of the Green Sea that's any good. It's worth its salt. You can't close it down." And there's like a yell, a roar. "And with what authority? You literally wrote that letter in like 5 seconds or something."
Kingsfield.
Well, you don't. You say quietly.
I think your mouth's
Okay,
too
so
full of teeth to say.
He's kind of like prodding them back into his gums.
Oh,
Um,
can I do a
Sparks?
I'm highly sought after, man.
Anything you want? Anything else you want?
Sparks is like,
Oh, what if I tried to compel Jewel? Okay. Drawn to you, has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you. Must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move beyond 30 feet. If it succeeds, the spell doesn't restrict the movement that turn. Spell ends if I attack another creature. If I cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target, if creature... I think... Oh, but it's only directed on one. I do want whatever ire is drawn to be drawn to Sparks rather than Ulster, despite the fact that Ulster just did 13 acid damage with a bite.
also spicy. It's a little bit spicy.
Indeed.
Okay, rather than that, I think she'd just get her shield out and just position herself like in front of Ulster and just try and reason with whoever's going to come at them.
Can I just ask you a question? Are you drawing weapons?
My body is aware.
That's fine, that's different. But are you drawing like a sword or anything? Because before you do that, the one thing I will tell you is you would know that the moment you draw a weapon is when this goes from like a brawl, like low level crime to like high level crime.
Also, it's like fist fight.
I think she would maybe have her arms outstretched, not have her sword out.
Improvised weapons are like completely fair game. Like if you want to pick up a tavern and use it as like a club, that's completely fine. But if you draw a blade, that's when it's going to go off the other end.
I think she's just going to hold her shield. She's going to maybe not directly hold it in front of her, but like show that she's not holding a weapon. Be like, please, this has been I don't know what this has been, but it's not what we want.
So protecting Ulster's hard work.
Indeed. Right. With that in mind, the first... Be very careful, guys. The first of this like civilians who kind of comes up, and who seems to be friends with the Goliath, like rushes up to you, Sparks. Like kind of jumps onto one of the stools in front of you, picks up two tankards and tries to smash them on either side of your face. This is so stupid. Okay. Let me just roll for them.
Don't try to shut down a bar, guys.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, literally don't. 16 plus 3 actually. That's 19.
Hey,
how's that?
Lily, is this is this a dex saving throw or just against my AC?
AC.
Ah, okay. My AC is 20.
Yeah.
Oh!
You kind of like lift your shield up and there's like a gong as these as these two tankards like hit down on you. There's 3 of these kind of people. The next one comes up and he takes a plate and he like hurls it across towards you, Ulster. That's not going to hit with an 8.
Okay.
He just flicks away.
What were you going to say, Anna?
I do want to make sure I'm within 5 feet of Ulster, but also if any of the people who seem like they are now diseased come up to Sparks, I do want to try and do a sneaky little cure disease.
Oh. That's so fun.
But
the third one comes up does seem to be. Sorry, not the third one. The second one who comes up does seem to have a little something going on. But it's not your turn, so you'd have to wait. I'm afraid. Devastating, I know. The third one who comes up, also to your interest, looks less like angry and more amused by the situation.
Laughing.
They appear to be. They are a kind of like a halfling with long grey hair. They've got a little. They have like back where they were sitting, like a very large pack. And like a bird in a cage, like that's sort of like singing little songs and doing a little jig and going, "Fucking kill him!" They've got like a little toad in a little terrarium, and they've got like stick insects like hopping over their plates and things.
I like this person.
And they rush up.
Come on.
They like kind of fly up in the air, put their arms back, go caw, and turn into like an owl, I think. And they're going to get in on this. So, to get the right. They're going to use their talons to kind of like lightly scratch at the shield. They're going to do non-lethal. Damage. They're mostly just trying to like spook you. Sparks, this is you as well.
No one's going for Ulster.
You know what? Actually, that's so true.
Yeah.
Ulster, this one's gonna go for you. 16.
Pizza.
Okay. You take 1 slashing damage. Yes.
Oh, you take 1 damage?
1 damage.
Okay, sorry, Ulster, I'm not going to protect you from that.
No, also doesn't look threat at all. Sparks, he is laughing.
Okay. Okay, next up.
Cute.
Remember, guys, you need to specify what your damage type is, yeah? Okay. Next up in the order is going to be Rizka, who is slightly less amused at the thought of his bar getting destroyed. And also because you guys damaged him quite badly, he is going to strike again at you, specifically at you this time, Ulster.
That's fine.
18 plus, so that's going to be hang on, let me just check. He's got a few things he can do.
Ulster's never felt so alive.
Mm-hmm. So, he picks up a rolling pin from behind the counter and kind of goes on guard, and then manages to like strike you in the shoulder with it, and you take 6 points of damage.
Ow. Okay, I probably break something.
Oh wait, are you that?
That's like a broken finger or something.
It's let's say you like slightly dislocate your shoulder.
He's like, oh,
hold on.
Ow.
do it again.
Hold on.
And with hang on, yes.
May I reduce the damage by using a reaction?
Yeah.
Okay, right. It's reduced by 5. So you take another one?
Yeah, Ulster's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing you kind of like come in and like go kiss his wound a bit better, he's like, rah! And then he is going to use one of his combat sort of superiority dice to command his friend, one of the civilians over there, to whack you again.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is going to go to you. So it's what happens is also you get hit on the shoulder. Bluey pats you on the back with a little heel, and then another sort of the one who was on the stool comes up and goes whack-a-chow and tries to choke you in the tummy. That's 15.
No.
doesn't hit.
No.
And then you just kind of like go, and they go, oh, in the last moment. Right. That was his bone. Right, let me see. That was his bonus action. And yep, that's it. Okay, for next up in the order is Loran. Who says to Ulster, this is actually hilarious. Do you want me to get you out of here or do you want to have more fun?
More fun.
Okay. Loran is going to duplicate himself. He taps his chest and he splits in two and he starts darting around like, hello, I'm here. Who forgot about me? One of the duplicates goes behind the bar and starts drinking and you can't tell whether it's Loran or if it's Ulster. Okay, whether it's Loran or if it's the double, sorry. And this seems to infuriate the guard who's like, what?
What?
Sparks, it's your go. What are you doing? I'm going to now update the map for you.
Please, everyone. She will. I think she will then try and move towards the diseased person, and do a lay on hands. So.
What is Loran's on the table for funsies.
What is it like if you try and heal an adversary? Like,
you want to try and heal an adversary?
Yeah.
Okay.
To cure a disease. I need to touch.
You can. It'll take an action, and if they'll know that you're casting a spell, so I'll make you make either persuasion check or a roll of some description to sort of have them accept the spell. And the DC of that would be your spell save DC.
My spell save DC is pretty low. It's a 12.
Okay, that should be fine then. Okay, so what do you say to them? Pardon me. So roll me a persuasion check, please.
I think she'd be like, and then like turn her attention to the person. That's an 18.
Okay, and what do you say?
Be like, look, I'm so sorry. I noticed that you have ingested disease from this place, from the dark drink you had. I would just like to try and cure that right now. I mean, no ill will. Please.
Understood. Okay, so you say this, you get an 18. They still look like they're ready to fight you, but they accept whatever the sort of like, they don't resist the spell, let's say.
Thank you. All right. And just sort of like gently tap them with to cure the disease I detected. So tap them on the arm and be like, all right, look, you can continue to fight me if you want, but you're cured now. So yep.
Go.
And she'll go back to like trying to protect Ulster. Oh, my camera's off.
Okay.
Is my camera off?
It's frozen. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
The Beppis are just sleeping in here.
Beppis. Yes. I think that's all. That's my turn.
Okay. So, once you've done that, do you want to move at all, or do you want to stay where you are?
Move back towards Ulster. So you
are. Yeah, that's fine.
Opportunity.
Sure.
Then I
You're still with Ulster. Yeah. Right. Well, that one enemy specifically is going to look a little bit taken aback as you see their sort of like pallor revitalize and like, oh my god, that weird coldness in my chest is suppressed somewhat. Look at you.
That's good. I'm very glad.
But you still want to close down my favourite bar?
I just want to kill the people drinking hearing this Ulster, I can just cure the people who are diseased, and we can pay for the drink.
Kill the people who are diseased.
Cure. I said cure.
I'm joking. They're going to do the same thing again. They're just going to do a regular tavern situation. There's a loot on the side of the bar just there in the map. If you look at it, he picks it up and he's going to bonk it on your head.
Oh.
That is a 9. He just bonks it on the shield and it goes twang, and someone in the corner goes, "No, my loot!" It's the bard who was playing for the children earlier, and there's a whole group of children just start crying. Next up in the order is another one of the enemies. This one is going to be the one who's throwing food and plates. He's going to throw a pie at Loran, and he's going to throw a mug of some sort of like ale at Ulster. So one of each of you. 2 and 5.
No.
He just goes throwing food just over you all, like, ah! No one shuts down my bar! And the last enemy is the druid again, who just starts cackling, and then
I like this one.
they sort of like, and they're going to start like rustling their feathers, and they just go pew, 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 and they like stick into the wood like darts. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Natural 1.
Natural 1.
Oh. That's 15.
Okay, with 15, a natural 1. You guys both are going to take 4 points of piercing damage as you are hit by this kind of like onslaught of feathers.
A single rivulet of blood goes down Ulster's face.
Zoran also gets a little bit of that as well, but it's nothing more than a couple of splinters, really. Right, and then next up in the order is Rizka.
What about me?
Oh, sorry, Ulster, you're after Rizka. Did I miss you? Ulster, do you want to go now?
Did you miss me?
I missed you. You go now.
You missed me!
You go now, baby.
Oh, I got left out. I thought I was getting left out.
No, I'm sorry, Biff.
Fine.
Fine. I'm sorry, baby. You go now, and you're going to get another turn in a second.
Ulster will... Rizka's behind the bar, right?
Yeah, he's the star.
He's the star.
Yeah.
Hey, I should be the white star. Ulster runs forward and jumps up onto the bar to kind of crouch in front of Rizka.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to attack him, but he's just going to place his hands on either side of his face, and he's going to cast Cause Fear on him.
Okay.
It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, yeah.
Oh no, what are you doing?
I know what I'm doing. I'm
8.
on the right side.
I don't think his wisdom's that good. 9.
So, I think, can I give this a bit of flavour?
Yeah.
I think for a second, the space around Ulster just kind of crackles with darkness, and Rizka looks as if he's seeing eldritch horrors. He also awakens the sense of mortality in one creature, and he is going to be frightened.
Oh my god.
You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of his turns.
Okay. So he can't attack you, can he?
He's frightened. He has to spend all of his time, I think, getting away.
Okay, right. He's fucking, you know what? You can see it on the map. He comes out from behind the bar, goes down those steps, gets on one of those horses, and starts running.
Also kind of topples back onto the bar and just starts howling with laughter.
Okay. The tavern brawl has become much more than you guys fully kind of comprehend it could be. He's going to repeat the saving throw. 11, so fails. Gonna keep running. Straight into the green sea. Worrisome. I think the enemies of yours sort of go like, what? Reese, no, come back!
You better go get him.
They kind of run off after him. Loran helps himself to a bit more liquor. You turn around, he's got his arms full. Did you get him?
Yeah, we got him.
Slow. I knew you would. Okay, well,
I'm
I'm
going to take the black liquor off the shelf and say, this is what we came for anyway.
Mm-hmm. You can take it. Right, so I'm going to just pause here for now, and we're going to drift away to the adventuring supplies. You know what, Astra? You know what? You know what?
You know what?
On the way to the adventuring supplies, you actually found the most lovely like spring from these like nice like waterfalls that have been like occurring here naturally, and it just seems to be a nice little bathing spot, and you have like a full spa session. It's wonderful. If you wish to, with my own.
I mean, if it seems like my own could use a bit of a spa session.
She could use a bath, yeah. No offense, but she could.
Yeah. Would you care to take a load off to a bit of relaxation during what will surely be a stressful journey?
Suppose yes, I am already set back. I can't really be any later than I am. You guys trade in your adventuring gear for towels and bathing suits. You shower off and you go and you sort of like find a less occupied spa to kind of relax in. And my own just sort of sinks up to her chin and goes in the bubbles. What do you think they're doing right now?
Probably drinking and having a good time.
Alcohol never brings me a good time. I'm a lightweight, as they say.
All things in moderation, I find.
What are you? Some kind of cleric? Some sage? Acolyte?
Something like that, yes.
And who do you serve?
I serve knowledge.
Seems like a cop-out. Who do you really serve? Your deity? What's their name?
Have my own do an insight check.
3 plus 2. 5.
Astra's deception wasn't very good, but it was still better than that. It was a 13.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is that it seems like they're being coy about something as opposed to fully answering the question.
Okay. She kind of scoffs a little bit and then looks away and says, ugh. That's what I hate about meeting new people. Never answer any questions.
Whom do you serve?
Elusive. Myself. My people.
There is valor in that.
There is. I know it. Once I am able to return to my home, well, I'll be able to tell of all that I've seen here. And perhaps make some progress at last.
What is your home like?
Different from this. Very different. Not as kind, but it is still my home.
She just nods.
You understand this, I see.
I don't really have a home. My apologies for not knowing how to serve you as you mourned the loss of your friend. It's not a common feeling that I experience.
She is quiet. She doesn't really want to speak of it, you feel. But she just says, I failed in my duty to protect my friend. And so, in my other duties, I must not fail. I hope you understand that I will not be staying with you people long. Only as long as I need.
I understand that.
Even if you all seem to try and push me into the arms of scaled women.
This is the longest I've ever been around people, consistently, so I understand well, coming and going. I know no home.
That is a sad, lonely thing to say. I pity you.
I have come to know many people, many things, and to serve knowledge.
She stands up and shakes the water off of herself and starts to get out of the bath and just says, I don't see how people could be a home. It seems temporary. People die or leave.
Yes.
She gets her towel.
All things in life are
And,
temporary.
Sorry, what did you say?
All things in life are temporary.
An animal can't be a home. And she grasps her towel around her shoulders and walks away. Leaving you, Slia, to rest if you can after that. You have been tasked with finding hammocks. Once you've washed your hair and come out of the baths, you are able to easily find a vendor and haggle for a few supplies for your friends. Loran gave you a piece of black, like folded up card that he says, just show this, and they'll give you what you need. And you pass over the black card, and they're like, oh my god, dishing out supplies. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I don't.
Aww. You know how like black card holders are like you can have no tapping limit for
Oh.
like Amex or
Yeah, it's like those cards are like weighty. Like they
Yeah.
feel like you're holding like
Yeah.
a big chunk of metal. Like it's
The hell?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no tapping limit, as in.
Like it could be
Can-
over $100.
You know, everyone had that here during lockdown or after lockdowns a bit.
Oh, did they?
Yes, and then the limit went to like one.
Why, to stop people touching the pads
115?
or something?
Yeah,
Ah, makes sense.
yeah. I think
Well-
it's now back to 100.
Probably.
also I think
it's
that like Astra would have kind of like waited a couple minutes and then gone after my own to complete their duty of, you know, doing this task together.
Sure.
But leaving the
You managed to find-
conversation to be very surface level.
Sure. You find cleats, hammocks, weatherproof cloaks, and a whole host of things you feel like you'll need for this adventure. And as you Oh, sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm having such a drop in energy. I might need to take a break after this. But as you go through this township, you have a sort of quick feeling of realizing you haven't seen Joral in a while. There seems to be some kind of commotion by the bar. There seems to be sort of it getting busier as night comes and people are more desperate to find a guide before the end of the day, having to stay in this sort of transient space. And you start picking your way through the crowd. You kind of notice, Astra, that there is a horse kind of kicking its legs, looking a little bit stressed, and by it is a tall Goliath man, whom Joral is talking to.
I think Astra would head over to Joral. It's like, okay, cool. The other member of our party that we need to acquire.
And you hear this Goliath man just kind of being like, they just came in and they tried to close it down, all because of some drink I was serving. And this boy, he wrote up a summons of a deed, a warrant of something, and he closed my shop, or he tried to. And Joral, who is taking notes and looks like he is kind of being very astute and attentive, is like, yes, I understand. Well, we will investigate this thoroughly as soon as possible. I do need a bit more information though about the. And then he looks over his shoulder and looks at you and is like, looks back up at Rizka. Some information about the person who provided you with this drink in case it isn't a cause for alarm. And Rizka nods and is like, yes, he went into the Green Sea. It was only 3 days ago. He was travelling alone, refused to leave his cargo, so sold off a significant amount of it to various adventurers and vendors here, and took only what he could carry on his own back. The guide who he went with returned, I don't know, was it a young druid? He was in the bar when everything happened. You would need to speak to him for more information about where he actually went. And Joral said, understood, young druid. Can I get some information about what he looked like? And Rizka says, grey hair, long, halfling. Lily just sunk to the floor. He guided. My friend isn't evil, you understand. He's just doing things. Well, he's not exactly inside of the law, but he's not exactly outside of the law. So he's in a sort of liminal space. And Joral says, I do not care about that. I care more about the identity of the person who guided him through the Green Sea. Please tell me who that is. And Astra, you see that he writes down a name and says thank you, and then says, now go on your way. You seem to be in a hurry. And the Goliath gets back on the horse and starts going deeper into the sea. And Joral turns towards you and says, found a guide.
Excellent.
As you wished. They're in the bar.
Oh, the one that... Sorry, I was eavesdropping.
I thought I would kill some birds.
Absolutely. May as well.
Yeah. Oh, and looks at my own and says, it's like half of a saying. I should have clarified. I wasn't killing birds because I thought it was fun or because I wanted to make fun of the fact that you just lost your bird friend. I was just killing. It's like
multiple
two birds
errands with one effort.
Yeah. He's holding a knife. It's like, I wouldn't. I wouldn't try that.
Really, he's very good with his own. It's not a slight. It actually seems to be a compliment.
She puts it away and just says, choose your words better. Filth.
Oh my god.
We'll be having none of that, my own.
You're so gross. Literally, you're so annoying. I don't like you. You're as revolting as I am. And they sort of just like hissing at each other.
All right, let's go find out what all of that commotion is about.
Okay. So you guys head towards the you do head towards the bar where Ulster, Loran, and Sparks are drinking. The commotion has died down slightly and become a revelry. The only true casualty you see is this poor bard who's crying over their lute and is like, how will I make enough money to go through the sea now?
Oh, here, come here, darling. Let me fix that.
Oh,
and there's just like this swirl of like magic around it as like Astra picks up the lute and it just rights itself, everything repairing into place with magic via mending.
Oh
if only life was that easy to fix.
He takes your hands. He is a human man. He is wearing the biggest bonnet you've ever seen in your entire life. And he has a moustache that is so beautifully curled. It is absolutely ridiculous. And he takes your hands between his as he looks at his cherished lute and he goes, I thank you. I thank you. What is your name?
Oh, don't worry about any of that. Just go on your way and have a
No,
great
I must
day.
know it for my chronicles.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Hold on.
I must know who Shigenwolft Halderswin is indebted to, so that I may repay them one day. Shigenwolft
Prison.
Halderswin.
Shigenwolft.
You are out. They are just outside of the move.
What?
Just so he's on the steps of this tavern, like crying.
No, Chrism.
Okay, fine.
No, as Sparks, Astra would be like, Sparks, Bluey Sparks.
He's such do-gooders.
But of course, I will write songs about you.
Oh no.
In fact, I feel one coming now. Dun 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 dun.
Well,
Bluey sparks, so bluey sparks.
As you start playing, the window throws open.
Eyes of night and skin like stars. Bluey, 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 bluey sparks.
Shut up!
A lot of people liked that, actually, I think. You broke it in the first place. Well, actually, no, you didn't. It was him who points at the random enemy. You guys are all now roughly together as the door is thrown open by Ulster. Sparks?
Can I have cured the other person with disease?
Yes, you can.
You guys just out there doing good every day, aren't you?
There is an owl flying around and it lands on your shoulder, Ulster.
Hello, you scratched me. It was nice.
They start like kneading your shoulder a little bit with their talons.
I give them a pumpkin seed. Success, I assume.
Gerald nods and says, we're looking for Ilaria Swansand.
Who?
Ilaria Swansand.
Who?
Ilaria Swansand.
Who is that?
It's someone who's... Okay, so apparently this person actually was the one who guided Big Ed through the Green Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I did some investigating work and I found out that he came through this area, sold off a lot of his product at a low price to people who were heading through the Green Sea because it was all he could only take what he could carry. I then encountered a very terrified barman who was yelling about something about following his lover Big Ed into the seas and never coming back. I don't really know what their situation is, but anyway. Indeed.
Who is this person you're looking for, though?
Ilaria Swansand.
Oh my goodness, Dral! Be more useful. What do they look like?
I did a lot of investigating. They were a halfling with long grey hair. Apparently they were in this very tavern. They were a druid.
Ulster points at the owl.
Has some kind of greyish.
This is that person, I think. Maybe, is it you? I think that was a yes.
in your voice, you just hear a, yes, it is me.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
like
is
that.
me. They jump off your shoulder and kind of like, in a burst of feathers, they kind of hop onto the ground and they say, hello, it is me, Elaria Swansand. I use she, they pronouns, and I am, in fact, the greatest druid this side of the Green Sea.
This-
Or at least, the okayest one. You'll see. You'll get to take you through. You want my services?
Do we want their services?
I do believe so. We are in need of a guide.
Hmm.
We are now
Okay.
supplied.
Well,
Were you the one who threw the feathers earlier?
I was indeed. I also was the one who went with the claws. I can turn into owls, bats, and other creatures.
That all?
Not at all. They give you a wink. Not at all. They don't seem to be like young, by the way. They seem to be kind of like for a halfling, slightly older. The graying in their hair is not natural coloring, but like kind of something that's come with age. And they just seem very like uppity and engaging and fun.
How
And
much do you cost them?
well, depends. How many of you are there? And
Like 5?
6, as the bard calls up.
You're not coming.
I will pay my share, please.
No.
Everyone has said no to me. Please, I'm begging you.
That's the
No.
Please.
No.
I have a show to attend.
There are 6 of us
Please.
excluding the bard, but there would be 7 if the
7? See, it would make it even cheaper.
I have a feeling that if
You
they
trying
hear
to
you
do that?
sing, the price might double.
At this point, Ilaria laughs and goes, yeah, I would. Sing
no
something
bard.
for me. Sing something for me. And the bard goes, okay, wait. Dun, 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 dun. A lonely bard left on his own to fend for himself. He's all alone.
Right, all in favour of leaving the bard behind?
He has a little cash to spare. He'd give his only equal fair share, and perhaps pay for one of you. Or 2.
I have
Or
nothing
3.
I have nothing against this man.
I have one ally.
And you sung a really nice song earlier. I don't know why you knew my name though.
Astra
What's your
winks
name?
over at Bluey.
Huh? Ilaria says, I sense fun in this party, people. But no, I am only going to go with those who are part of the team. So if they say no, you're not part of the team. It's whilst it is good to pad out as many as possible to make sure that we, if we're traveling in a large group anyway, don't all get picked off. It is also advisable that we all trust each other. And if you don't, then you don't. What can I say? Well, my fee is 30 gold a day.
Oh, that's expensive.
It is expensive.
How many days?
There is also 7 or 6, so you could split it. It would only be 5 gold a day each.
How many days do
Okay.
you estimate you need?
Well, I can do 1 person in 3, or 7 people in 6.
Can't we just walk really fast?
Well, if it was 1 person, I would just turn into an animal and lope with them on my back. But that is not possible with this many.
Alright, we will. Are we all in agreement for 5 gold? That sounds fine, yeah? Apart from
Yes.
you, points at Maya. You all need someone to sponsor you.
She looks around. If I could fall upon someone's charity, it is too expensive for me. But I would pay you back. I'd find a way.
I'm sure Sparks would want you to come along.
I could sponsor my own and continue being in servitude to Loran.
Yes,
Loran says, so I can sponsor you.
Yes, and I
Understood.
would have to continue being in your debt, working at your shop at a later specified date.
You guys don't have 30 gold.
Astra has 15.
I have nothing.
I have like 500 plus.
Hence why it's like, I can sponsor you for 5 days, but... especially because, like,
Understood.
my own being, like, I'm going to be leaving immediately. And it's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
I will be sticking around, probably. Probably.
Right. Also, what are you going to say?
I mean, I also have I have diamonds. If that could cover,
Alaria smiles.
to give you a diamond.
Give me a diamond. Let me see.
He goes around the back of the bar so she doesn't see where he keeps them. Like, gets one out of the raffle and comes back. This is diamond.
She holds it up. What a gem. And they say that this has the power to bring people back to life. It's
Apparently.
crazy. Such a small thing, buying so much.
Apparently, yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I accept this as payments for all.
Oh, sweet. So actually, you're all in servitude to me now.
I can live with
Well,
that.
if anybody wants to pay their own way, they can also give me more money, but
I'm joking. I don't keep servants. That's his thing. Points it around.
I don't have servants. I have workers. Many of them. They all get paid under minimum wage. I hate Lorraine.
Well, it's Cecil then.
Okay, perfect. Right.
Wait. Also looks at Droll. I forgot again. I'm gonna just go do the scrying. He backs away. Does the scrying on Coral.
Okay. So, as you do the scrying this time,
Mhm.
you actually do make a connection.
Fuck. Okay. What's he doing?
You sort of feel yourself being pulled out of your body and across the sea, and you find yourself sort of watching over the sort of like room, which is basically a study or a library.
Mhm.
And inside, you see Karul, and you hear him speaking to someone through like a stone.
Speaking to someone. Okay.
Yeah, and he just says, look, so I'm not saying I made an error. It's more that I think it might be best if I just got him back. Something's come over me in the night, and honestly, if I had my son, it might be easier for me to do my business. And there's like a... So you hear someone you can't hear on the other end. It's like, because I know we had a deal, and I am paying you, but that is exactly why it serves you to give him back to me, because I can pay you extra... Oh my god, why is this so frustrating? You know what, I don't care. Just leave. Have him. And puts down the phone.
Oh.
He's gonna pick that up again. 2 seconds. I give it.
Excuse me. And that kind of, this back and forth happens over and over for a while.
Also stops the scrying. Then he picks up his sending stone. He's like, "Hello, Coral."
Do we hear him say this as well?
All the gold that Doral and Loran were holding just falls to the ground, and it's like, for Doral it's like a penny drop, for Loran it's like a fountain. He's like,
Shush. Ding, 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 ding. He backs away a little bit from you guys. Hello. Yes, I know you can answer the phone, so can you answer, please?
I know exactly. Excuse me. Of course, Ulster, I come crawling back as I knew you would.
Well, no, I just walked in on you in a rather unfortunate situation. Were you begging for your son back?
Brr, brr,
Also
brr.
calls back. We have Droll.
There's like a holding tone.
We have Drow.
Is this some kind of hostage situation?
No, we just kind of wanted to know your plans for the next few days, considering you did try to put me in a box.
I'm going to come and get you, and I'm going to go and put you back in that box.
Are you sure you want to?
Yes.
Really? He just hold 1 second. Drow, he still kind of wants to put me in the box. What would you suggest I say?
Tell him. Tell him Pico Taro has seized the coffee exports for the local. Yes, tell him that Pico Taro has seized and halted all coffee export. That should upset him a little bit.
Pico Taro has seized all coffee exports.
Oh!
Just thought you ought to know. Coral? Coral? Hello?
I see you want to bargain with me. And you have Gerald. I will soon, if not momentarily, very soon, have something that he wants very much.
Yes, but we kind of want to keep Drow. We quite like Drow. He smiles at Drow. So we're going to need maybe some more information from you regarding your attempted poisoning of the
Make sure you're
entire
marking off all these spell slots by the... Oh wait, no, you don't have your fucking minutes, Slay. Make sure you're marking off all these minutes, by the way.
Minutes is fine.
You've used at least 4 minutes now. Okay, make sure you're marking them off.
He'll buy more.
You can't buy them until you're back in Ironstone. Okay.
So, how would you like to go about this? If you give us information, maybe I will consider going into the box. At some point. Not for very long, though.
Remember, you're only getting 25 words, so you gotta be careful.
That's not how it works. It's minutes.
It's the minutes are like spendings.
Okay,
You understand?
He's waiting. Also puts on speaker. Hello?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
Well, quite a lot, actually, considering we're trying to save the country. I've got a great idea, actually. He scuttles away from the group behind the inn. Do you think you can meet us?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Ulster, you understand that I still am trying to kidnap you for my own nefarious purposes.
I don't think that's going to work out very well for me. I think you should give up on that right now.
All right, Ulster, tell me where you are. Let's see how well that goes.
Ulster tells me exactly where he is.
Wonderful.
What?
Okay, Ulster. I'll keep an eye on you, and when I feel like answering your questions and picking up your calls, perhaps I will.
Yeah, but it would really help if you came sooner rather than later. He hung up on me. Comes back.
Gerald looks slightly traumatized.
He was just in a bit of a bad mood, really. He said something about kidnapping, nefarious purposes, blah, blah, blah.
Loran says, Ulster, I would prefer it maybe if you didn't actively contact the man who was trying to destroy your soul, etc., etc.
Oh, he won't do that. It's fine.
Use you for nefarious, whatever.
He won't do that.
Sparks.
Facts.
I would like to do an insight check on Ulster. It's a very nonchalant. Unless his opinion on Cruel has drastically changed in the last 2 days, something's.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if Sparks picks up on something being weird. May I?
Okay.
I don't have my phone, by the way. Hold on. Let me just get it. I see everyone's doing something.
No. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure you hadn't messaged me something that was something you wanted to do.
I lost my phone.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Right, what did you...
It's over here.
Okay. What are you... Andre? What are you doing, Bluey? Can you tell me?
I think I want to see if Sparks picks up on how weird it might be that Ulster seem to be acting so nonchalant and wanting to contact Karul and just sort of
Yes.
conversing with him. I rolled a 14 insight.
Oh, that's pretty good. I think that Ulster has sort of been a little bit unhinged since, well, really, I guess since the Karul betrayal happened.
Really since forever.
And especially since he drank the drug tea. This could be a side effect of him being loony high on drugs.
I forgot.
This could also be a side effect of Karul's sort of traumatizing him.
Is that the thing that you need to do? Feels like...
Do you want to just call him? Hold on.
So.
Oh yeah, Ulster's being weird.
Sparks, that sort of information that we gave you just then is what you kind of gather. This could be drugs, this could be trauma, could be both.
Better invite him here, so we can interview him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Droll
what
says...
was the first part of what he said? What was the first part of what Ulster said?
Ulster said, I just thought we should invite him here. It'd be better to interview him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you look so scared?
I like Sparks looks around to the rest of the group like he wants to kill us. He lies. What?
He does lie. He's a liar.
And he does want to kill you, yes.
Not me.
Well, he probably wants to do bad things to you as well. I know. He's told me.
I think it'll be okay.
He said something about merging your souls into one.
I still think it will be okay.
I kind of considered marrying you off to my son.
That is a bit disturbing.
Well, it's better than the alternative.
What's the alternative?
There isn't. Don't worry about it.
Yes, this seems to have jeopardized the safety of multiple people. So...
What do you mean?
Well, Karul does seem intent on doing you harm. And definitely seems intent on doing Jharal harm, and we offer Jharal sanctuary, and this could be in violation of that, and we should go.
Oh, he'll never hurt Jharal. He pats Jharal on the shoulder. I think Jarl's fine.
How can you be sure?
Know that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's assuming someone else's actions, and that is a bit unwise.
No, it's just making a, well, I guess it is assuming someone's actions, but it's based on evidence.
You're also assuming I won't team up with him again just because remember how hot he is.
Very attractive, then. Pat's Jharal again.
Just because someone
Loran
is
looks at
attractive
you like,
does not mean that they will not kill you.
But we need the information Karul has, because otherwise we're never going to unravel this mission properly.
Well, Loran says. Well, Ulster, Loran says, if you care so much about having this attractive man, as you say, back in your life, then you can call him and you can bring him in whenever you like.
Why do you sound upset?
Why do you think?
Is it because I said he was attractive?
No, it's because you contacted him in the first place without telling anyone.
I did. I called him in front of all of you.
Yes, but when could we exactly stop you from doing that? You didn't give us the choice or tell us what you're planning to do.
I've upset you greatly.
Yeah, actually.
I apologise.
Okay. I'm gonna go get more hammocks.
You were scrying on him, and he was out of the thing, and we had agreed that, like, we had a limited amount of time to move because...
Oh, he's getting his son back. I probably should have said that first.
Him and Jarrell's son?
Yeah.
This is where I leave you then.
What? Why?
Do you really trust me not to betray you?
We need you.
Well, I don't need you.
Why?
There is no sanctuary that can protect me from myself. Thank you. It's been
wait.
enlightening.
Please.
Why? Ill-advised. I would choose him over you.
Also looks very confused.
Is it really that complicated, Ulster?
But if you go to him, you won't be happy. Not yet.
I'm not planning on going to him.
Where are you going?
Going to get my son before he can.
Or you'll die.
Yeah, probably.
Then let us help you.
But we can help you.
No.
Why?
I don't trust you. Not yet.
You've given us reason to have allegiance with you. As opposed to the alternative.
Places like the Green Sea and places like the Underdark aren't too different. You know for a fact, looking at you, Astra, I'm sure, that there are entrances to the Underdark on the other side. Near the wastes. Alaria looks very much confused by the larger conversation, but at this point, finally seeing a place where she can chime in, she says, you're thinking of Ganarok, aren't you? Have you? Oh, it's not a nice place. I can lead us out that direction. Darling, if you're heading to the Underdark anyway, it makes sense to stick with us, at least until you get there, and then you can abandon them.
I mean, yes, it would be good for you to come through the Green Sea.
Make a persuasion check with advantage from the rest of the party helping you, specifically Astra.
Yeah.
You blew, you've done well.
Definitely need the advantage. It's a 19.
19. Jarrell looks at you, Astra looks at you, Ulster.
I'm sorry, I got the pieces a bit wrong.
You're only putting yourselves in more danger. Hope you understand that.
Pieces?
A good way to structure your arguments is usually to start with the piece of information that's the most relevant, and then follow logic from there, just in case you want some help next
There's a lot
time.
of information going on in my head, okay? So I'm sorry that I didn't give you the most important thing first.
It's fine. I will go with you.
I'm just trying to make it easier.
I know you are. The easy thing would be to toss me aside and let me do my thing.
But no, we're not going to do that.
It seems that it's out of my hands now anyway. You've paid for me, so I will come with you, and then when we get to Ganarok, I will go my separate ways.
But you'll die.
Would you rather your son be
People
in
die.
someone else's hands than your own? If you don't accept help, that is the most likely to happen.
But you aren't going to help me. You're going to go to the Gauntlet, aren't you?
You need to do things in the proper order, Joel. You can't just go to the Underdark right now.
I won't wait for the Gauntlet,
He's not.
but I will.
Not ready. He can't. It doesn't make sense.
You're irritating me, Ulster. You don't understand.
I do understand.
No, you don't, Ulster.
I'm going to go check on the ram with the hammocks. I don't think Paul was coming anyway, if that helps at all. And he walks away.
Ilaria sort of looks at you guys and says, anyone who's not involved in the TIFF, come with me. We'll start setting up our journey. And anyone who has legs, please do go and tell them that we'll leave in an hour. We need to go before this breaks. And you don't want to know how much it costs to stay here for the night. And she heads out, and you notice, sidestepping very carefully as if they might not have been noticed. What's his name? Why did I give him such a weird name? Shigenwaft Hal.
Shigenwaft.
How do you remember that?
Do you not
I wrote
know?
it down.
Shigenwaft Halderswin.
Would you
Yeah.
mind lighting this one up?
Ooh. Ooh, that's
Freaky
hot.
things happening. Freaky things afoot.
Freaky thing!
Freaky things. I don't like them, but I love them.
Also, I think that if Shigenwaft Halderswin, me trying to read my own handwriting, like tries to like sidle up to the group, I think that he gets a little like eerie whisper in his ear. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Please, you don't understand. My last group left me here.
It's just a whisper. There's no there's no way to respond to it. It's just an eerie whisper in his ear.
Yeah, he's speaking out to himself, like out loud. You don't understand. Voices in my head.
I think it'd be so brave, yeah. I'm gonna go off to upset the ram if that's okay.
Okay. Loran didn't actually go look for hammocks. You notice that he has gone to the stables where one of the empty rooms that has been sort of like done up for the next person was sort of left open, and he's just walked in and sort of like lounged in there, and it's just kind of like
Takes me a little bit to find him. I'm like, hello. Sorry.
hello, darling.
I've upset you.
What on earth makes you think that?
Your general demeanour and the fact that you walked away from the group and the fact that you have now sequestered yourself in this room by yourself.
Oh, smart and astute, aren't you? Why did you do such a stupid thing?
I just thought it would make things a bit quicker.
Why?
He kind of sits on the end of the bed. I really don't know.
Ulster, I think whatever instinct you're following. I know routines and patterns are probably very important to you, based on everything you've told me, based on the way your mind works. But in this instance, I think it could be best if you relaxed it slightly, if you can, or at least talk to me. Tell me what you're feeling stressed or put out.
I just want to prepare us as much as possible for Gauntlet. I have a bad feeling.
Ulster, you don't just tell someone that you love them and then do this.
Do what?
I don't think you're being honest with me.
I am being honest with you.
You want us to prepare for the Gauntlet. There's nothing else on your mind.
Look, I know that Gruul has the information that we need. And I can't explain why. I understand that he is not pleasant to be around, and that he did put me in a box. I don't feel scared of him, though. I don't feel any fear. And I should have maybe considered that you all might feel fear, and I apologise.
He laughs. I'm not scared of him. If anything, he should be scared of me, Ulster.
Well, that's it. Then he's not a threat to us.
I'm scared. I'm scared of what could happen to you.
What do you mean to me?
No. I know what you're like. And I feel like, given the right conditions, say the life of a child being at risk, you could be convinced to do things, to give up things or sacrifice things, which you usually wouldn't. And telling Corral where we are, it's only making his job easier. Even if you think he won't hurt you, you don't know that.
Delaying the inevitable.
Well, if I have anything to do with it, it won't be inevitable, Ulster.
But he's always going to come at some point.
Not this time. He sits up. I've run through every scenario in my head. I know for a fact that is not true.
Unless he was dead.
You draw him to yourself.
I draw him to myself. Are you saying this is my fault?
It's not your fault. It's just what happens.
And it has to happen at some point. Why not now, when he is... I think doing this now will save a lot of heartbreak in the future.
So this can be out of whatever order you've established in your head.
Well, the order doesn't have to always be the same.
You're contradictory, Ulster. I wish I could understand. I'm not going to fight with you. But please just don't contact him. Don't make his job any easier. I know how bad things can get for you. I know how bad things can get.
I don't think you do, actually. And this time is fine.
No. I will make sure it's fine.
And how will you do that?
He just smiles. By
Nah.
protecting you.
Sorry?
By protecting you. Of course.
Now who's the one who's keeping secrets?
You don't know how bad people can be. Especially people like Coral. The things that they can do to people. Make them do.
What are you talking about?
You heard... It's not a joke, what Jaral was saying.
I don't treat it as a joke. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Didn't you hear, though? The alternative was marrying you off to some child. Merging your souls together. And he's already had this on you, and he points to the Pay Knight, for God knows how long.
I've had a while to come to terms with that.
No, you haven't, Ulster. I don't actually even think you've processed this at all. It's been a couple of days?
A couple of days is a long time.
Is it, Ulster?
It's a long time. A day can be 1,000 years to some people.
I'm Faye. Usually it works the opposite. Look, I'm not trying to argue with you, Ulster. Just be more responsible.
I'm doing what I think is right.
Well, do what's right for everyone, not just for you.
But there are so many different versions of right, and there are so many different versions of wrong, and then depending on what happens then this other thing might happen, and then we might end up in an entirely different situation.
You can't control those things, Ulster. Some things just have to happen. Some things you just have to let happen, even if they hurt.
You want me to let it all happen? Also kind of gets up.
If I could go back, don't leave. Please just listen to me. If I could go back and change things for myself, God, I wish I could. I wish things hadn't been the way that they were for me. But I can't change those things, Ulster. And if you try and keep everything easy, everyone happy, remove yourself from responsibility. I've seen it, Ulster. I'm not a fool. The way you distract. You don't need to become king. But that has to be something you choose, not something you just ignore. And you can't just do things that endanger other people, that provoke danger. I met with Coral. I remember how hard it was to convince you that he meant you ill. I can't do that again. It feels like I'm moving in circles now, trying to show you that he would hurt you given the chance. And you're saying it's fine and that we can contact him. That things... Please don't put yourself in unnecessary danger. Because I love you.
You're right. I've become an awfully selfish person.
No, also.
No,
You don't have to be selfish to not see sometimes.
No, I have. And I'm sorry. I love you. And he kind of, if Lauren lets him, he will kiss his cheek. And I don't know if he'll even remember that. And he pats his shoulder and steps back. This is just what I am now. And I just want to be happy. And I'm sorry.
You can be happy. No one's trying to stop you from being happy, Ulster.
No one's trying to stop me from being happy.
No, Ulster, they're not. Unless you are yourself. They're trying to keep you safe.
You don't understand. I'm sorry. This isn't going to be a productive conversation. I need time to myself now.
Actually, you walked in on me.
Yeah, I know. And
So-
I see the irony in it. So I'm
Okay,
going to...
no, okay, right. Loran sits up and is like, fine, okay, I'll go.
No, you say.
No. It's better you know where you are. Loran will leave you. He looks stressed and displeased.
Also kind of lies back on the bed and just kind of laughs to himself.
So drugged.
And I think after a while he probably starts crying.
Oh. What? Right.
What kind of
Before we
fuckery? What kind of fuckery is this? I mean, I suspect some.
I thought that was quite an easy to understand conversation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I do understand, but it doesn't make this no.
Loran is upset that Ulster messaged Carol and is being evasive and not taking responsibility for his actions.
Yeah. And also apologising for not taking responsibility for his actions.
And Loran thinks that Ulster seems to be trying to, make everyone else happy and not think about his own well-being, which Loran knows is not possible. If he could change things in his past, he would, but he can't.
And also completely disagrees and says that he is selfish and trying to make himself happy.
Well,
And there we are.
there we are.
Next scene.
Nothing
Okay.
else. Nothing else to be gleaned from that conversation. Nothing.
Right. Throughout the afternoon, as it settles into evening, you hear the sort of mournful tune of Shigan Waft Halderswin as he plays.
The
Yet
cat meow.
again, I've been left on my
Can I just say-
lonesome alone.
Actually, Emma, after Ulster comes out of the barn, he walks over to, what's the druid's name again?
Ilaria Swansand.
And gives her 30 gold and nods his head at the bard. We'll take him too. Doesn't matter anyway.
She says, "That's mighty kind, actually. I mean, I was going to suggest you take him even if it's just as a meat shield. Chin up, you look a little sad."
I'm not sad.
Then...
You said we had to get going though. The sun will be going down.
That's alright, we've still got 40 minutes.
I'll collect the others. Also starts wandering around.
No, hey, kiddo, come back.
What?
Turn into animals and run around together.
Sure.
She transforms into a lynx.
Ulster transforms into a cat.
And then it'll be a little lynx, and you guys can like get zoomies and see a little bit.
We will run around and fetch all of you.
Okay. You guys get all
I think Astra might want to have a chat with Gerald.
okay. Joral is over at the supplies sort of tent, and you can actually see that he is picking up extra supplies, seemingly for himself.
I already picked you up.
And when I say picking up, he's just walking off with them. He's not actually paying for them. Oh. What are you doing here?
I picked you up supplies already, but I guess it won't hurt to have extra since...
I'll need more for the other end.
Exactly.
Thank you. I didn't ask you to do that, though.
You didn't. You asked for sanctuary. I'm just providing for you. That's what that would entail.
You understand. I will betray you if they get him first.
I understand that
you have nothing that would keep me more than my own son.
I wouldn't ever ask to stand in between you and your son. I would help you get him back. If you would let us.
Perhaps. Though you might prove to be more trouble than you're worth.
Likely. But you can trust my intentions if you don't trust me. I gave you my word that I would protect you, so I will. And if I can do something to help you find your son, then I will.
What's interesting is even if you say that, nothing you do can make me trust you. Because I still don't know you. I don't know what you would lose. I don't know what you love. Don't know what you serve. Without any of those things,
I serve knowledge.
when I look at you, all I see is danger.
I love very few people.
Wise.
There's a forge in Ironstone. A place I considered taking you. But to reveal that would be to reveal that which I love.
Perhaps the only smart decision you made then. We're actually going to wrap up soon.
Oh, that's so nice.
We started early.
Hi.
You did kill me, by the way. Something brought me back.
Then I did my job.
Yes,
And you got lucky.
I did. Thank you for at least trying with me.
See, it doesn't happen a second time. At that point, I think 2 cats come barreling past you.
Also, just a clarification, like, trying is like kind of opening up towards her is what
Sure.
she meant.
Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
You and my own, followed by Dural, Astra. A lot of you all gather by the Green Sea. 2 cats, Loran, and strumming his lute
With his fingers.
with his fingers so limber.
I thought you were gonna do.
He'll go to the trees, and his
I
voice
was
will
hinting
make
that.
timber.
I wasn't doing that bit. I was going for a completely different song.
What song was it?
Strumming my lute with my
Oh no, it's a completely different song. And you guys all gather together. And the last person you see of the sort of town proper before you guys get all your paperwork in order and you start preparing yourself for the afternoon ahead is Merowyn. And she
Merowyn?
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
She comes up to you and she says, good luck. Let me up when you get to the other side. It'd be nice to start a Temple of Carmentran down here for those of us who don't necessarily feel the need to worship in Melas.
What was the first thing? Something when you get to the other side? I've missed that.
Look me up.
Look me up.
Like as in contact me or keep in touch.
Right. Yes. I'll do my best to. Very, very good to meet you.
And you guys are able to begin your journey into the Green Sea. Now, hang on just one moment.
Dear Jeffrey, I'm afraid.
Guys, we're just going to have a loo break very quickly. Is that okay? Whilst Lily
Okay.
runs some secrets by me. Okay.
Okay.
Should I just pause?
All right.
Yes, please.